One game remains in the 2025 Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. We got KD Rounds, we got Janny King, and we got Matt Hatfield. And Matt, championship game coming up here. These were the two best teams, I think, definitely, other than the wins, of course, but the two clear best teams of the tournament. What has set them apart in your mind?
Well, I think from the very beginning, the first game we saw KD Rounds win by a point. Sean Badula set the tone. His entire teammates, they bled off his energy. It was contagious the way he defended and also made key shots. They blew a 23-point lead, but they kept their composure together, and I think the players around him have stepped up throughout this tournament. In Janny King's case, it's been different guys each game. The last game, which we saw last night, Mark, go down the wire, much like it was for the other game in the semifinals. Curtis Jones, Iowa State, 28 points for him. He was known more as a sixth man for the Cyclones in the Big 12 season, but he's the guy that had the outburst, so I'm curious to see who's that step-up guy. If Jones is the go-to force today for Janny King, who's that complementary? Maybe it's Ben and Bing from Yale, perhaps it's Nelly Jr. Joseph from New Mexico, and for, obviously, KD Rounds, we've seen Zach Fremantle step up from Xavier. They need someone else to help out Padula, especially in crunch time.
K&D Rounds has shown blowout potential. You mentioned the 23-point lead they jumped out to. So I think we're set up for a good one here today. And you mentioned Padula. He has definitely made the most of this.
There were questions coming in. What is he for the next level? Is he an undersized 6'1" two guard, or can he play some point? And I think he's starting to show the ability to do either or. And then for this K&D Rounds team, opposite him in the backcourt, watch out for Chase Hunter of Clemson. He's one of those three Tigers we've talked about in this tournament, along with Victor Locken, the big guy who didn't play today, Ian Shefflin as well. Hunter had a couple of early shots in their first one. They need him to make shots and stretch the defense, because if they have him hitting shots as well as Padula, and then you throw in Nate Santos from Dayton, they have a chance to extend their lead in this game. It's important. If you get a 6 to 8 point lead, can you push it up to 14, trying to make the other team wilt down the stretch?
Right. And don't be fooled. Well, it's nice. Individual performances are always nice, but this is not one of those cases where, hey, if we win, it's nice, but we really don't care. Scouts are looking to see if you have those intangibles to fight for that win and try to win a tournament. That's what we're going to see out here over the course of the next 2 hours or so.
Well, and these athletes have been growing up around basketball all their life, whether it's been in rec ball, high school, AAU tournaments. They know when it gets to championship time, even though there are some evaluators and scouts that have gotten on the planes and gotten out of here, they're going to find out what happened in the championship game, because that's where you separate the men from the boys. It's where you get the good from the great. This is where you decide what's on the line and how you perform when all the eyeballs are watching you and it's everything on the line.
Leading into this one, we had a good game. Portsmouth Partnership nipping Portsmouth Sports Club 77-74. We saw our now.
Yeah, Mark, he actually surpasses Janelle Davis of Arkansas, who had 63 points through 3 games, 2-1 record. A last-minute fill-in, a guy who ends up being a guard that comes off the bench in a couple of games, not a, feature player, marquee guy, but he came out of here probably an all-tournament team, first-team performer.
No doubt at all. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have one game left. KD Rounds and Janny King are going to square off for the 2025 PIT title. Real quick, Matt, do you have a favorite?
I would give the slight edge to Janny King, but again, if K&D Rounds has the ball in Padula's hands, down 1, up 1, you have to like his chances because he's come through twice already.
We've seen him get it done. We've seen him have the coverage. We're going to have one more game here, and we'll see who comes out with that trophy. Stay with us. We're coming back to check in with you guys at halftime. Right now, we're going to go back up to Matt after this break. Enjoy the game, everybody. It's championship time. We're coming back right after this.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Coming to you live from Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. It's the championship of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. The stars of tomorrow and legends are made here on this sacred venue in the Commonwealth. Here by winning 111-79 with 18 made three-pointers in their first win. 23-point lead in the opener, but won by a whisker, 74-73 over Sales Systems. And then in a game that was back and forth, topsy-turvy, seesaw affair, 94-93, they outlasted Portsmouth Partnership. Sean Padula with 22 points in that one. Jordan, this should be a fun battle, and when you get to the championship, you want to see the two best teams. I think we have the two best teams.
I totally agree. I think we're in for quite a treat here. I think we got two teams that are battle tested, especially K&D Rounds.
Let's keep the starting lineups for these two teams. Janet King will be wearing the blue uniforms, K&D Rounds with the white jerseys. The coaches, by the way, for Janet King, Mike Holland, who's the head basketball coach here at Churchland High School, the home facility for this event. Roland Ross is a longtime assistant at Christopher Newport University, and Takara Ross for K&D Rounds Landscape Services, coached by Jim Markey, formerly the head basketball coach at Norfolk Collegiate. Chris Furman, who's the head basketball coach at nearby Portsmouth Christian, and Dion Thompson. You have the NBA WA coaching up these future pro players that have finished up in college basketball, as we have 16 of the 64 best in college basketball in display for our final nightcap. 8 teams in this event, a total of 64 players. This is the 12th and final game, so here you go, the starting lineups for Janet King. It's number 5, Stephen Ashworth, a 6'1", 170-pound guard from Creighton out of Alpine, Utah. Number 10, Bez Mbang, a 6'4", 190-pound guard out of Yale from Potomac, Maryland. Number 11, Curtis Jones, a 6'4", 190-pound guard from Iowa State out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, coming off a 28-point effort just one night ago. Number 14, Gabe Madsen, a 6'5", 200-pound guard from Utah, all-time three-point shot maker in Utah Utes history, hailing from Rochester, Minnesota. And number 32, the man manning the middle, Nelly Jr. Joseph, 6'10", 245 pounds, a center out of Nigeria who played for the New Mexico Lobos. For K&D Rounds Landscape Services, number 2, Nolan Hickman. Number 4, Sean Padula. Number 10, Nate Santos. Number 22, Zach Fremantle. And number 23, Jonathan Pierre. Hickman, a 6'3", 185-pound guard for Gonzaga out of Seattle, Washington. Padula, a 6'1", 195-pound guard out of Edmond, Oklahoma, who played for Ole Miss after initially starting for Virginia Tech. Santos, a 6'7", 215-pound forward from Dayton, who hails from the state of Illinois. Fremantle, a 6'9", 227-pound forward for Xavier out of Teaneck, New Jersey. And Pierre, a 6'9", 210-pound forward from Belmont, who calls Hollandale, Florida, his home. Our officials, who you see on the screen right there, Tim Green, Charles Watson, Marcy Williams, as the lineups are being introduced to the public here.
So I'm looking at these starting lineups right here, and I'm seeing a lot of guards in the Janet King lineup surrounded by one big. And I'm wondering, is the size from K&D Rounds? What are your thoughts?
I think that could very well be the case. You know, last night Fremantle ended up fouling out. I'm curious to see how he does. He does have some injury history, but we talked about it a little while ago with Mark Davis on the Curtis Jones has the hot hand. Who can help him out? Maybe it's Mbang, maybe it's Madsen or Nelly Jr. Joseph. Stephen Ashworth, he's got so much Colin Gillespie in this game, as we talked about last night. Daniel Sokolowski and Matt Jones and I during the broadcast. And then K&D Rounds. Surprisingly, his field goal percentage has been a little bit up and down, topsy-turvy. So if he can convert those ones inside, you don't feel like there's a definite interior presence for K&D Rounds. Their roster's got Jonas Adu, 6'11" center, but he's not starting this basketball game.
Yes.
So there's an opportunity for Nelly Jr. Joseph to have a double-double and kind of impose his will.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking at Curtis Jones for JD King to see if he can replicate yesterday's performance.
So the championship game is about to get started here.
Yesterday's performance.
Again, if you want to follow all that's taking place at the Portsmouth Invitational, that encompasses the PIT. I know there's always to us here. They've been watching on TV and through Prep Spin. They say, how can I help out? This is such a cool event. Well, go to PortsmouthInvitational.com and check out the website and learn more about this event that has produced such NBA greats as John Stockton, Dennis Rodman, Tim Hardaway, Scottie Pippen, and even current NBA players that are in this year's playoffs like Jimmy Butler of the Golden State Warriors, Derek White of the Ball. It'll be Nelly Jr. Joseph jumping up against Zach Fremantle. Again, K&D Rounds in the white uniforms, Janet King in the blue, and the opening tap is controlled by K&D Rounds as Jonathan Pierre tosses it over to Sean Padula, and we're underway. Glad you're with us, spending your Saturday night before Easter here watching the 71st annual PIT. Padula dribbling to his right, little hesitation move. Spins back to his left. His first attempt is not going to be a good one, and it's actually collected by Nelly Jr. Joseph. On the move, it's Janet King in the corner. 3-ball for Madsen. It's a little short, and there's always some jitters sometimes when you're playing in a championship type of game and setting such as this one.
For sure, it's definitely, and you see that step on the end line right there. I mean, that's enough.
K&D Rounds. This guy was Jonas Adu, 72.7%, and our first field goal of the game is a three-point shot for K&D Rounds as they're able to get it to fall to start this game.
Blink and your guy Ashworth has a three.
Stephen Ashworth is such a threat, but there's a dunk to answer with Nate Santos delivering the jam. Santos, such a big weapon for Anthony Grant and the Flyers at Dayton. He started all 33 games a couple of seasons ago. 988 career points in his college tenure. 2 seasons at Pitt, the last 2 at Dayton. Little head fake maneuver. And Fremantle's able to tightrope the baseline and score it for 2.
Beautiful reverse.
4-3 in favor of Janet King. Long-range attempt in front of the bench, and it is dialed up. Cujo, they call him. Curtis Jones knocking it down with the tray.
He continues the torrid pace.
6-4, K&D Rounds.
Looking to exploit the size here.
Backing down. Oh, nice job with the face up there for Jonathan Pierre. Solid numbers. 13.8 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game for the Bruins of Belmont.
And he had a D2 background as well, starting out at Nova Southeastern.
And that shot is good for Nelly Jr. Joseph. And that's something that I think is forgotten about, Jordan, is that there are all avenues overseas, you name it. You don't always have to go to a Power 5, a Division I. You can also be successful the D2, the D3, the JUCO route, the prep route. As there's a triple that's dialed up from Jonathan Pierre.
Once again, here we go. No, I totally agree with you. I think with the transfer portal now, so many guys are getting Power 5 opportunities from D2 level and some even lower levels as well.
5 of the 9 belonging to Pierre. Early 3-point lead.
Love the pace of this game early.
11-8 is our score. Face-up jumper for Pierre. That one's strong off the back end of the iron, trying to nudge his way through. It's Freemantle. Bezenbeng bouncing the basketball over to Curtis Jones. And there will be a whistle, personal foul. It's going to go against Jonathan Pierre. K&D Rounds with a 13-8 lead. Check that, 15-8 lead on top of Jani-King. Sending it in from the sideline here, Jani-King. Three-point shot for Stephen Ashworth's going to rim out.
And just look at how they're exploiting the three-point misses and using it to play in transition. K&D Rounds.
Ashworth, little head fake. Down low to Nelly Jr. Joseph. Turn it right, back left, right again. Oh, how about that baby hook? Sweet shot there. It's a 5-point deficit now.
I expect them to have a bit of a bounce-back game in this one.
Freemantle thought about it. Now he'll drive on Nelly Jr. Joseph. Fall away. Is starting to feel it here at the PIT.
That half hook is deadly.
Freemantle missed all of the 20. Musketeers at 16.8 points and 6.8 rebounds per contest. Underneath it's championship Saturday night.
Shout out to Zach, who's from my home state, New Jersey. Jersey's finest right now.
Native of Teaneck. And how about that key dunk, 15 points against Texas in the first four of that comeback game in the NCAA tournament. His shooting numbers have been all over the map, but he is a gamer. There's no denying that. I wonder if there was a matchup for them to stop that for
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Matt Hatfield here with you alongside Jordan Maka from Rise and Grind at the TBT as we talk to you at the championship venue of the PIT, Churchland High School, for the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament finale. It's K&D Rounds, who's 2-0, taking on Jani-King, also 2-0. And Jordan, so far a good start for Nelly Jr. Joseph and the fellas in blue as he's up to 6 points, knocking down each of his first 3 field goals, and he has a chance to make it an and-one special.
Yes, I think you called it from the outset. Nelly Jr. Joseph with a bounce-back game. And I think that they just need a little bit more from the three-point line.
They didn't want to see that happen to K&D Rounds as he misses the free throw. They keep it alive with the offensive rebound. And Stephen Ashworth, oh, that pesky guard from Creighton, knocking it down from 3. Such a steady influence out there.
Really a gamer.
And for the first time tonight, Jonas Adu. He's wearing number 20 on your screen, the 6'11", 237-pound center from Arkansas out of Durham, North Carolina. There's a layup for St. Thomas. He's a 6'7", 225-pound forward out of USC from Omaha, Nebraska, for Jani-King, who has checked into our ball game. And we are suddenly tied at 17 apiece.
So now they're looking to exploit the two big lineup.
Pull-up jumper is drilled as that one is good for Jaden Akins, number 14, the 6'4", 195-pound guard for Michigan State, who helped the Spartans win a Big Ten regular season crown, as well as make an Elite Eight appearance in this year's NCAA tournament. You see Coach Dion Thompson.
So Matt, what's the key here, you think, for Janny King to really establish themselves? It's been pretty tight early on.
Well, what's really hurting them right now is they're not getting a lot of quality exterior shots. As there's a three-point shot outside of the offensive kickouts. Now I say that right when it happens, they get another triple to fall, and Ashworth is really making them pay.
Absolutely.
Step back shot is right there for Jaden Akins.
And he's heating up.
Now can they also get some transition opportunities? That's going to be big for Janny King as they move it along in this one. Ashworth changing directions with his triple, and that's the idea there for Chase Hunter and company to slow him down. But there's another triple as they've knocked down three here in a matter of seconds as they're starting to get hot. Igor Milicic has come in, the 6'10", 225-pound forward out of Croatia, who played for Tennessee this past year, part of an Elite Eight run for Rick Barnes' Volunteers. And good job there by Natalie to catch the basketball right next to pro basketball scout Lamar Barrett, who hails from Franklin, Virginia. I think Lamar taught her how to catch it well. Now low, it's Milicic with the basketball.
Here's Youngblood. Kick out, hits
Chris
a three.
Youngblood with the tray. 6'4" guard from Alabama knocking it down, and was wondering if they were going to become reliant on the inside game. Nelly Jr. Joseph goes to the bench, and suddenly it's raining threes for Janny King.
It's raining threes.
What a turnaround here in terms of shooting the basketball from distance. 4-point deficit for K&D Rounds here as we near 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And there's a triple, and that one's rattled home by Chase Hunter, the 6'5" guard from Clemson.
Be careful, he starts catching fire.
He doesn't look all of 6'5" out there, but he rises up and shoots it well, and that shot is answered quickly with Chris Youngblood, who can score it from 2-point range just as easily from 3. Hunter comes right back and almost gets the roll. It's going to tap around and be picked up by his teammate, and Adu tries the one-handed hook shot. No good. Rebounded by Thomas. Up ahead. Here comes Janny King. Fast break chance. Bezem Beng has it, the 6'4" guard from Yale. Runner this time won't go for Youngblood, and it appears Hunter and K&D Rounds will slow things up a tad.
Pierre looking to exploit his matchup inside.
Coming back the other way, it's Janny King with St. Thomas. 3-point lead for Janny King.
There's Madsen.
Madsen's perimeter jumper won't go, but there's a foul as the Janny King bench clapping it up. They like the energy here. 11 of 15 from the floor to start this game. 73.3%. You imagine they'll cool down at some point, but they hit 18 threes back on Thursday night, so they can do this the way they've been shooting the basketball in this venue. You wonder about coming into this environment for the first time, bright lights, bigger crowd for Championship Saturday. They've not been fazed by it.
They might not. They really have to. K&D's going to have to run them off the line if they're going to hope to win this.
Milicic attacking baseline, losing the handle. Here's Chase Hunter on the move. Ball squirts out of the hands of Sean Padula. We've not seen Sean Padula do a whole lot to start. He gets a defensive rebound here. He's scoreless, but his team only trails by 3, which could be a good thing because you know he probably will get going at some point. Here's a lob, and it's going to be a foul as Jonas Adu had trouble getting it, but he was hit as part of the reason why.
Yeah, let's see what Sean can do. Let's see if he can warm up a little bit.
So here's Adu at the line.
So impressively enough, K&D is also shooting very well from the floor. So this has been quite a championship outing so far.
61.1% for them. 3 of 4 from deep for K&D. 6 of 10 from long distance for Janny King. And the first of 2 free throws, no good for Adu. I think some wonder about him, Jordan. Does he board or score it well enough? We know he can be a physical, defensive-minded big, though.
Yes, I think they're expecting a defensive presence from him. They're expecting him to be in the dunker spot, to do a few things down there. But so far so good.
Igor Milicic has the basketball. Bounced over to Bezem Bang. Caught by St. Thomas in the post. Oh, what a cut by Madsen, and he gets it to go. That's a real heady play from Gabe Madsen.
Yeah, really exploiting the hole in the defense.
Move without the basketball. With the basketball, Sean Padula, his 3-ball won't go down.
Looked a little bit forced there. Let's see if he can find a rhythm.
Thrown into play with Bezem Bang.
Looks like they're going to hold for one.
Under 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Hesitation move, Mbang leaning in. Doesn't get the roll. Adu with the rebound. Pull up three-pointer. It's going to be short for Jaden Akins, and 1 quarter in the books. It's been an entertaining one.
Yes.
Where King leads K&D Rounds 30-26 at the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Second quarter is started with Igor Milicic missing a shot inside for King, which claims a 30-26 lead on K&D Rounds in this first half. 3-point shot is short for Michigan State's Jaden Akins, and Yale's Bezem Bang on the move for King. Cross-court pass to Chris Youngblood. His 3-point shot is short. Rebound underneath for Gonzaga's Nolan Hickman as the Seattle Washington product, moves the ball up the floor for K&D Rounds with Jordan Macon, Matt Heffner with you on the championship call of the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament. Chris Youngblood saving it before it goes out of bounds, and a really good start for both teams, shooting it at over 50% from the floor. Right-handed attack, and then fall away for Gabe Madsen. Oh, that was clutch and tough.
Beautiful footwork there. On the other end, I just wanted to point out Youngblood's footwork and in the paint defense. His interior defense looked really good there. Sean
Padula. Oh, what a crafty drive there as he was able to get some separation and scored on the move. Sean Padula with his first field goal of the night, started out 0 for 3 from the floor. But we saw him really sizzle and winning time. 16 points, 3 of 4 from 3 in the comeback win. We say comeback win because they were up 23, lost the lead late, beat Sales Systems, and then in the back and forth with Portsmouth Partnership, 22 points, 6 assists, and he was 4 of 6 from way downtown as St. Thomas heads to the bench. And on the floor now for Jani-King, Youngblood, Ashworth, Milicic, Madsen, and Curtis Jones. Looks like it'll be for K&D Rounds. Nate Santos checking out, and back in the action for them is Jonathan Pierre, the 6'9" forward from Belmont. Here's a three-point try for Igor Milicic. No good. Rebound collected by Jay Nakins. 4-point deficit for K&D Rounds, trying to draw closer. Here's Hickman. A member of the West Coast Tournament champions has his shot kicked at his handle go out of bounds, with Igor Milicic challenging the play defensively with just over 8 minutes to go in our first half. It's inbounded now to Stephen Ashworth. So far 9 points for him, all on triples.
Yes, and he's moved very well without the ball, and he's definitely hit some really good shots.
Here's a deep one for Madsen. Oh,
Beautiful
ring it up
shot
for a guy that's Utah's all-time shot maker in threes. Check that, 1,464 points in his career, but coming right back, it's a hoop to make it a 5-point game. Jani-King not able to get total separation.
Madsen feeling it.
Look at Chris Youngblood all over the place. Gets it
Beautiful.
to Ashworth, and look who's open. Igor Milicic for 2 off the glass, 7-point lead.
Beautiful team chemistry right there.
Nolan Hickman trying to get by Milicic. He's not having it. Madsen comes away with it. 7-point lead for Jani-King. Pull-up 3 for Ashworth. Strong off the back end of the rim, and Fremantle gets the board. They really need Fremantle, those K&D Rounds, to help settle them down. He had 10 points early on in the first quarter on 5 of 6 shooting. Here's a 3 for Hickman. Quick trigger is no good, and Ashworth pulls away with the rebound.
I think they need to look to him right now. It looks like he has a mismatch every time down the floor.
Handoff to Curtis Jones, his 3. Count it for Cujo, and we've got a timeout on the floor as Coach Dion Thompson has seen enough. Jani-King all of a sudden with a 10-point lead after trailing once, 17-10. It's the second quarter on Championship Saturday night from Churchland High in Virginia.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Oh, all kinds of folks enjoying the action. Young or old, big or small. The PIT is for one and all. 40-30 lead for Jani-King against K&D Rounds with Jordan Maka. I'm Matt Hatfield. No, I did not have that plan. That came with me on the fly.
I appreciated it, though.
10-point advantage. Well, we have a moment here. You want to get a shout-out to someone out there, right?
Yeah, sure. Just shout out to the whole Rise and Grind Hoops family. LeVar Johnson, local guy, Global Connectivity, as well as Josh Hallman, Hoops Visions.
Cool stuff. So we'll get a chance to see Rise and Grind, the TBT this summer, the group that you're helping orchestrate things with. That'll be neat.
Yeah. Super excited for it.
As you should be. On this championship Saturday night at the PIT. Got ourselves a good one. There's
Nice
a
move.
layup that's scored by Sean Padula. He's trying to counter what Stephen Ashworth has done as these two ultra-competitive guards, one from the Big East, one from the SEC, have navigated the competition to get their teams to championship Saturday night. Good catch and a finish underneath for Zach Fremantle as it's suddenly a 6-point game.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Padula is really asserting himself, or looking to, so far in the second quarter.
Long range shot won't graze any iron. It'll go back to K&D Rounds as Jennings had a 10-point lead, and just the last couple of trips they've allowed K&D Rounds to get some momentum and claw back in this one.
Yeah, so I think that whenever Janney-King's missing on their threes, K&D Rounds is able to get out in transition and get something before the defense is set. Right now I'm looking to see whether they can exploit something in terms of their size in the half court.
And maybe the stretch out ability of Fremantle here against Nelly Jr. Joseph wants to play more towards the basket.
Yes.
That one won't go down, rebounded by Curtis Jones.
Looks like they're playing into Janney-King's game right now.
And remember, they established Nelly Jr. early on, then got the threes going. That runner won't fall. Rebound comes to Chase Hunter. Underneath the pass is stolen away. There's the lob to Nelly Jr. Joseph and make him 4 of 4 on this Saturday night at the PIT. The guy who, in his career, went to the free throw line 748 times. He's got 1,966 points, and one of the better bigs we saw in college basketball this past year as New Mexico reached the round of 32 in the NCAAs. There's a pull-up jumper that is good. Put that on the board for Clemson's Chase Hunter.
He's playing within himself today.
Having a hard time checking Nelly Jr. Joseph at 6'10". He's only an inch bigger than Zach Fremantle, but he's got the wider frame and just that base allowing him to really make himself effective pushing off the block there, as it'll be a personal foul against K&D Rounds, and Chris Youngblood will be checked out. And even though they have Nelly Jr. Joseph on the floor, there are still shooters you have to pay attention to with Jones, Ashworth, and Madsen.
Yeah, so I think that everything you said at the beginning of the game with Nelly Jr. Joseph and their ability to check him, that's going to be super key down the stretch.
Sean Padula with his first.
Also to point out, Fremantle has 2 fouls in this one so far.
6 of 8 shooting for Zach Fremantle. 12 points, 4 rebounds. Nobody with 2 fouls for Janney-King. In fact, just 1 foul tonight, Bez and Bang. So they have done a good job of defending without any mishap. And it's going to be a turnover as Nelly Jr. Joseph couldn't handle it.
Excellent D by Padula. Here's Nolan Hickman bringing it up.
The guard from Gonzaga tries a 3-pointer. It won't go down. Rebounds tapped out by both Joseph and Jones. Jones will get it as it was saved to him by his teammate in St. Thomas.
Hard screen by Nelly there.
Runner doesn't go. It's tapped at by Pierre. Look at Sean Padula go all the way to the 10. Blocked by Madsen and blocked by Nelly Jr. Joseph.
High flying action here.
Ashworth to St. Thomas, and there's the rim-rattling slam, and a technical foul for pulling on the rim, and the fans don't like it. Tim Green
like
teed him up, but that call's going to come every time.
Yeah.
We watch it again as the chorus of boos rains down at Churchman High. First block by Madsen, second by Nelly Jr. Joseph, and then in transition, dump it off to Ashworth and St. Thomas. We've got liftoff in Portsmouth. Free throw for Pierre.
Love the energy in this building right now.
Tim Green must be thinking he's in Southern California, like it was the USC fans booing him and wanting to put him away. 7-point deficit now with Janney-King in the lead. K&D Rounds trying to calm things down. They were down by 10. Got within striking distance, and now it's starting to get away again. That time the pass, nowhere to be found for Pierre. Pierre shot 36.9%
for the Bruins from three-point territory. Average 3.5 assists per game. There's Nelly Jr. Joseph on the good find from Bezim Bang. And the lead is back up to 9 for Jeniking. A deep one. Oh, Chase Hunter from distance. That had range to it.
Can't let him get hot. That's something that they've been missing throughout most of this tournament.
And there's Chase Hunter with the anticipation, but he had his foot on the sideline out of bounds.
Love the activity level, though, of Chase.
Our official Charles Watson saw it, and Deion Thompson says, okay, you had a better look at it than me. Fighting for his guys nonetheless, though. Here's Ashworth in the front court.
Over to Joseph.
Nelly tries to attack, has it knocked out of bounds.
Good hands by Hunter right there.
3:04 to go in our second period.
Continues to be active defensively. Chase Hunter.
8 points for Hunter in this game. And there's a turnover as Ashworth stepped out of bounds. Couple of steals for Hunter and Fremantle. 2 steals for Youngblood. So we've seen some of the key contributors make their presence felt on the defensive end of the court, although this has been a relatively higher scoring game, 46-40, as we near 2.5 minutes to go in our first half. High runner with the right hand for Nolan Hickman, and he would get himself to the free throw line.
Couldn't make that happen twice.
Ball goes above.
Stuck at the top of the backboard.
And they will try to get that basketball down as Ashworth tries to get it, using the rim to get it down. How about that? That's a creative way to get the basketball down. And we've got a timeout on the floor after we watch Stephen Ashworth show. He has some hops too. Oh, we've got athletes here at the PIT.
No tech there.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
(46-40), Jeniking with the lead with under 3 minutes to go in our first half. As Mr. Ashworth, the old man out there who's 25 years of age, Jordan, at least he will be 25 years of age on May the 1st out of Alpine, Utah, getting the basketball down for us during our stoppage before the break. Pretty entertaining first half as 8 of 19 shooting from deep for Jeniking has been really spearheaded by the guy from Creighton.
Yes, so the chin-up king is really shown a lot so far this game. We've seen a lot from the three-point line, and he's really controlling the pace, which is super, super key for this team.
Got fans in the stands with the Bob Marley shirts. Exciting time for basketball with the NBA playoffs underway and the championship of the PIT. March Madness in the books on this Easter weekend. We're watching some players that were a part of March Madness, including Stephen Ashworth and Bezim Bang, who helped the Elk go to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. And another one is Chase Hunter, a part of Clemson's Elite Eight run last year. They got knocked out earlier than they wanted to this year in that round of 64 upset at the hands of McNeese State. And McNeese State watches its coach, Will Wade, Jordan, go from the Cowboys to Raleigh, North Carolina, as they'll be leading NC State's program in the ACC, adding more spice and intrigue to that conference.
Yeah, quite an impressive game by McNeese State. I've never seen defense that was played on both ends so crazily. It was just, they were all over the floor, everywhere, and Chase had a kind of a difficult game shooting the ball, but he kind of came through in the end and kept it close.
There's a denial at the rim. Nelly Jr. Joseph in the way. Ashworth changing hands with a dribble. Over to Igor Milicic. Ashworth kicks it. Shot fake. Chris Youngblood. Fall away. It's good for the 6'4" guard from Alabama. 8-point advantage for Jeniking as we tick under 2 minutes to go in our first half.
That was really good defense. Youngblood just made a better one-on-one move. Here's Adu looking to back down his man.
Jonas Adu, count it plus the foul as he gets it to go off the backboard for 2. Once a member of the Tennessee Vols and finished up his college career playing for John Calipari in Fayetteville for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Hickman goes to the bench, and in for him is Michigan State's Jaden Akins.
Akins was strong early. I'd like to see him pick it up.
Akins, a third-team All-Big Ten performer and second-team academic All-American. He earned his bachelor's degree from Michigan State in communication, carrying a 3.58 grade point average.
Quite impressive.
This year he carries a 3.5 GPA while pursuing a master's degree in strategic communication. So when he's done with this basketball thing, he can take arguing.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
1:45 to go in the half. Milicic inbounding in front of the K&D Rounds bench. Nelly Jr. Joseph has it over to Stephen Ashworth. Ashworth dribbling left over to Nelly Jr. Joseph. He'll try a 3. Almost made a 3. It'll come out to Chase Hunter.
Looking to show he can step out. Great pull-up.
Oh, what a pull-up, Chase Hunter. And we've got a timeout on the floor as the lead for Jeniking that was as large as 10 is down to 3. Oh, look at those pretty shoes. I want a pair. So do you. The Nikes look sweet. There's the swoosh. Come on back to see those swoosh in play at the PIT.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Back here at the PIT, it's championship Saturday night, 1:18 to go in the second quarter. 48-45, Jeniking on top of K&D Rounds. It's a good one here. 3-point lead, 10 points for Nelly Jr. Joseph Jordan. Zach Fremantle and Chase Hunter, though, keeping K&D Rounds in the hunt.
Yes, so I really like what I've seen out of K&D Rounds. Let's see if they can keep up the pace. Chase Hunter getting hot, that's really difficult to contain. Can Jeniking hold on?
There we go. We got a Western Branch Bruins fan in attendance. Hey! Look at that. Got some bling-bling in the house. Kids enjoying the action. Giving you the courtside views and the aerial footage, too, here from the PIT. She's loving it. She's all pinked out on this Easter weekend. Inbounding from the side, Chris Youngblood over to Bezem Bing.
Here's Stephen Ashworth looking to make a move.
Ashworth hands it off. Youngblood. Basketball's loose. Jaden Akins comes away with it. Oh, and he steps out of bounds. Nearly a steal.
Little off balance there, but I really like the effort.
Oh, we got a substitution. Looks like it'll be Chase Hunter going off the floor and Jonathan Pierre coming in Pierre was putting up both hands saying, ho, don't start without me. He wants to come to the party. If I'm not mistaken, that was an older gentleman with the Dallas Mavericks Dorian Finney-Smith jersey in our front row. Dodo, as they call him, in action tonight for the LA Lakers in the playoffs against Minnesota. Once played for the Mavs and once played in the PIT after his high school and college career. Norcom High in high school and in college with the Hokies of Virginia Tech and Gators of Florida. Basket there makes it a 5-point lead for Jennings. And oh, how about the runner there for Jaden Akins? Michigan State's finest with the hoop there.
Yeah, Matt, that was quite one of the more fun PIT nights when the whole city came out to support both him and Trey Freeman.
Stephen Ashworth is not done yet, folks. He keeps the ticker going.
Santos looking to make a move.
And Nate Santos got fouled with about 7 on the shot clock.
Looks like he grabbed Mbeng's jersey.
Jennings foul charge number 10, Bez Mbeng is third.
Bez Mbeng's third personal foul, the 3-time Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, who was not just the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year this year, Jordan, but the Ivy League Player of the Year in general in terms of the conference. And
yeah.
At the line we watched Santos, whose game has really evolved. He was just 16 of 81 from 3 at Pittsburgh, but he worked on it at Dayton so much that he ends up getting 122 makes the past 2 seasons, and he got 67 starts at Dayton, only 6 at Pitt. Why? Well, he made himself into a better basketball player and now a potential pro prospect.
Yeah, his game looks good. Really impressed with what I've seen for him.
Second foul shot is good as well.
Here's Ashworth looking for one shot here.
Ashworth with the handle up top. 3 ball doesn't go for Madsen. Bez Mbeng has it. Triple zeros on the clock, and we're at halftime. Jennings 52, K&D Rounds 48. We hope you're as entertained as we are from the 71st annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament Championship. Halftime coming your way here on WGNT and Prep Spin. Stay tuned.
Stand by. Welcome back here. Halftime of the championship game of the 2025 Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. Right now, Janiking with a 52-48 lead over KND Rounds, but still a whole half of basketball left to go. And these aren't the only college seniors here that put together good seasons. Joined now by former Norfolk State forward center big guy, Khalil Mading. Khalil, thanks a lot for being with us. Hey, so you're out here taking in some basketball. What are some things you're looking at here today?
Really, I just here to watch the game. You know, I got a couple of my guys playing. My guy RJ played earlier, then Curtis Jones and Jonas Adu playing right now. So I just came to support the guys, you know. So, you know, just come support, show love.
You're obviously an experienced, talented basketball player yourself, but is there anything you can take from watching these guys out here?
Most definitely like the aggression they playing with, and I'm just watching like from 1 to 5, really like the type of shots, how the speed is, how the pace is, and I'm most definitely going to like use that and just take notes, really. Just be a learner of the game everywhere I go.
Yeah, never stop learning, right? Yeah, so we talked to one of your old teammates, Brian Moore Jr., a couple days ago, and he was here taking in some of the action, and he said that, you know, hey, this could be an advantage if he gets this opportunity next year. Is that kind of your take as well?
Yeah, that's most definitely my take as well. I got obviously one more year. I got granted a waiver, so I'm just right here, like just watching how it's playing, like how they going through the motions. So I'm just hopefully taking that in, and next year, like you said, hopefully that's on the radar.
Your dunks were awesome at Norfolk State. You guys had such an awesome season this year, winning the MEAC regular season and tournament title, then going to the NCAA tournament. What was that like for you, being part of that ride the last 2 years?
It was unreal. You know, last year before this, we lost in the semifinals to Howard, and me and the dudes that returned vowed that it wouldn't happen again, so we most definitely took strides. I took strides personally, and the whole team did, and we got it done. So it was a fun year for sure. A lot of excitement, but you feel me? Ups and downs, trials and tribulations, we stayed true and stayed whole, so yeah.
Well, and, you know, we talked, you guys got that NCAA tournament experience, and, you know, you played Florida, and they jumped out to a very fast start, but without their 24-5 run to start the game, that could have been a close game for you guys.
Definitely, most definitely. You know, we was working out the jitters. You know, it's a different atmosphere than the MEAC tournament or even like a home game or away game in the MEAC, you know. But I feel like once we got used to it and everything slowed down a little bit, you really seen it. Like, if you took away that first run, it would have been a hell of a game, a close game, you know.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Khalil, what do you remember, real quickly, but we have about 30 seconds, what will you remember the most about your time at Norfolk State?
Man, that's a hard question. I couldn't even sum that up in 30. I couldn't even sum that up in 30 seconds. You know, just the culture, really, like winning culture, and outside of that, like everybody a family. Like I still talk to them. I was walking through the spring game with Coach Jones, just talking about him, not even just basketball, but life, really. Like so, like it's just the connections, you know, just the culture, really. If I could sum it up in one word.
Khalil Mading, thanks so much for joining us. Best luck in your future. We're back after this. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that a lot. 10 stand by. Halftime of the 2025 Portsmouth Invitational Championship game right now. Jani-King holding a 52-48 lead over K&D Rounds, and now joined again by Matt Hatfield. Matt's been calling this entire game, and Matt, competitive as we expected, shooting pretty well. Some guys struggling a little bit, surprisingly, but that's going to happen in basketball.
Yeah, it is. Sean Padula missed his first 3 shots for K&D Rounds, but a good job by Jani-King to establish the inside first with New Mexico's Nelly Jr. Joseph, and open up the outside with Stephen Ashworth from Creighton and others, and they've got 24 points off of turnovers. That's the difference in a 4-point game, but if it's close late, free throws and Padula could be a difference.
Yeah, no doubt at all. And there's definitely some shooters on this team, Padula being one of them. What are you looking for in the second half? What are a couple 1 or 2 keys to the game?
I want to see if K&D Rounds can neutralize the inside game and get more in transition and up-tempo flow, get some other guards like Nate Santos, Nolan Hickman going to help out Padula. Zach Freemantl's carried the low with 12 points, 10 points for Chase Hunter from Clemson as well. So who can be that third option? Maybe someone off the bench to give them a spark, because right now it's still hanging in the balance, and we got a pretty good championship game.
Yeah, very good championship game. No surprises. Many of these games have been competitive, Matt. And 1 half left here in the 2025 PIT. What sticks out to you the most about how this tournament has gone so far?
Just the community feel. I think we talked off camera a little while ago about people come out to support this. It's on a Saturday. It's Easter weekend. They could be elsewhere, but they're tuning in on WGNT TV and through Prep Spin and all over the world, and they enjoy this tournament. It's history. 71 years. So many pros have come from here, whether they're local, national, international. It has a unique flavor and an importance in the community and worldwide.
More than 250 NBA scouts on hand this week, another 100 plus overseas scouts. You know, and these 2 teams in particular who we're seeing here in this championship game, not succumbing to any pressure, playing their basketball games, and also gelling really well with some guys they've just become teammates with since Wednesday.
Well, and it also leaves the opportunity, Mark, to have that lasting image. It's the last time you're wearing a uniform. Your college career is over as far as before you turn pro and become a professional. Do you leave that indelible mark with a hustle play, some type of and one, a jam, a 3, an extra pass, something that fans walk out of here and say, I remember when Chase Hunter, Nate Santos, Stephen Ashworth, whoever did that at the PIT.
Well, and the first of several pre-NBA draft things these folks will do. These players have a busy couple months ahead of them.
They do, and it's all about evaluation, progress. How do you get better, and what do you take from this? Soak up the experience, learn from it, get better, and continue to improve.
We have 1 half of basketball left in the PIT. Matt, real quick, 15 seconds. What are you looking for?
I'm looking forward to see if Jani-King goes back to the inside-outside flow, go through Nelly Jr. Joseph, and can K&D Rounds neutralize that with some outside shooting and transition play.
All right, Matt Hatfield's going to put the cap on this for us up there calling the game. We thank you very much for joining us. 1 half to go here. Jani-King leading by 4. We'll see if they can hold off K&D Rounds. Coming up right after this. Stay with us. We're coming right back here live on WGNT.
Third quarter underway in our championship of the 71st annual PIT. It's Jani-King and K&D Rounds, with Jani-King in the blue uniforms on top by 4, 52-48, with Jordan Maka. Matt Hatfield here with you as we watch our third quarter get underway with Nelly Jr. Joseph going right to work. Jordan, he did that early on in the first quarter, and he's up to 14 points with that hoop.
Back to their bread and butter. What adjustments do you think that K&D is going to make in the second half?
I think K&D really has to, as we touched on with Mark a little while ago here from WGNT TV, Martin Davis, that they have to get more because and Ashworth. Little contact collision there, and Ashworth goes and grabs his face area as he and Padula bump into each other. What makes Nelly Jr. Joseph so tough down low on the block as he challenges that shot, but the roll is there for Padula? What makes it so good? Because nobody in the Mountain West can stop him, and people out here have had trouble stopping him.
Yeah, it's really good physicality, really good body control, and his footwork is excellent for a big. And look at how he plants himself deep in the post against Fremantle. Clearing space real well. So it's lower body strength as well.
K&D Rounds foul charge number 22, Zach Fremantle.
The foul is on Zach Fremantle of Xavier for K&D Rounds. Ashworth over to Nelly Jr. Joseph. Fakes the handoff. One dribble at the foul line. His shot is pure as he showed some touch and range on that jumper.
Pull-up jumper. Really difficult to contain early on. 3
ball for Nate Santos, who got hit on it, but no call. I think he's saying elbow, or that might have been Chase Hunter rather saying elbow. 56-50 is our tally as Ashworth gets the inbound. Shot fake from St. Thomas. We're going to smaller defender in Chase Hunter. Up top, 3 ball for Chris Youngblood. Off the mark, and the rebound collected by Zach Fremantle.
Here's Fremantle over to Akins.
Jaden Akins. Fall away shot is good in the lane for Michigan State's Jaden Akins. He's up to 11 points, and he might be an X factor in this second half. They had that wild Sweet 16 win over Ole Miss in the NCAA tournament before losing to Auburn in the Elite Eight. There's a foul here with 8:07 to go in the third quarter.
Nelly, difficult to box out here.
It's the first assist for Fremantle on that last hoop.
Yeah, I expect a big game from Jaden Akins down the stretch. Hopefully Sean Padula also can get involved a little bit more.
Long range attempt is buried by Chris Youngblood, who made an impressive 329 threes in his college career. 3 seasons at Kennesaw State, 1 at South Florida, and the last one for Nate Oates and the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
Jersey's finest, Fremantle answers.
So Zach Fremantle responding from the 3 by Youngblood, and now they're on the move again with a steal. Ashworth got bowled over, and it's a blocking foul. I'm not sure if you caught last night, just the collision that everybody's been talking about with Ashworth and Cameron Matthews. And everybody here's been saying, you remember, did you watch it? If you weren't here, people have been talking about Ashworth twice last night in that game, laying out his body. He's a smaller guy, but he doesn't mind playing through tough swings and big physicality. He is a tough cookie.
He's a gamer, for sure.
Nelly Jr. Joseph with the rebound. 4-point deficit for K&D Rounds. They get a steal, and it's knocked out of bounds with 7:18 remaining in our third period. Gabe Madsen on the floor. He's got 7 points tonight for Jani-King. We'll see if he's an option on this possession. Ashworth being guarded by Padula. Chris Youngblood has it, backing down, fall away shot. It's going to roll through for Youngblood, who's up to 12 points. 61-55.
Youngblood really showing some things, multiple ways he can score the ball.
Deep one from the wing will not go down for Jay Nakins. Personal foul will keep it right here.
That foul charge to Kevin King, number 5, Stephen Ashworth.
Ashworth with his third.
I'd like to see a little bit more of Chase Hunter in the half court. Maybe they can draw something up for him.
K&D Rounds looking for that second playmaker to go with Padula, who has 4 assists. They've really contained him scoring the basketball. Can Hunter or Santos, Akins or Hickman be that facilitator to go with him? Hunter has it now. Pull up mid-range jumper, and he swishes it home.
I'll give you those lottery numbers.
Chase Hunter.
Ashworth dribbling to the right. Ellie Jr. Joseph gets it down low. Poked away. Zach Fremantle continues to get involved in the scrum, as they say. Substitution now as Bez and Bang will come in, as will Curtis Jones. Stephen Ashworth getting a rare rest and a breather also for Gabe Madsen of Utah.
So yeah, Nelly Jr. Joseph, I think like a key in his pro development is going to be his ability to pass out of that double, because you saw how quickly the defense closed on him.
Nolan Hickman bringing it up the floor. He led all returnees a year ago and 3-pointers made per game in the West Coast Conference. Looking to show he can play some one if it's called upon. Runner's going to get the roll.
Soft touch.
2-point game as Zach Fremantle cuts the deficit in half.
That little half hook in the lane is really deadly.
Bez and Bang unable to connect. Rebound for Hunter. Chance for K&D Rounds to tie it up or go in front.
Fremantle again.
Right-handed hook shot knocks the score up at 5:38 to go in the third.
Same result.
$19 for Fremantle on 9 of 11. Bez and Bang with the basketball. Shot fake. Curtis Jones. Oh!
Rims out.
Jay Nakins up the court. Staying after it, but Nelly Jr. Joseph too tall, ripping it away. And Bang gets it back on the feed from Youngblood. Snap pass out to Youngblood. His three off the iron and out of bounds.
It's the right play.
Sub back in is Igor Milicic of Tennessee. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. Janet King and K&D Rounds deadlocked at 61 in the 71st annual PIT Championship game.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Under 5 minutes to go in our third quarter of the 2025 PIT Championship game from Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia, with Jordan Maka, Matthew Hatfield here with you as K&D Rounds and Janet King continue to trade punch after punch in this very evenly matched title game. We've had 6 lead changes and 3 ties, and so far in the second half, K&D Rounds shooting 60% from the floor. They've got 5 assists on their 6 made field goals.
What have they done differently, Matt, you think?
Moving the ball well,
Yeah.
and they haven't let Nelly Jr. Joseph, who's off the floor, become a problem in terms of affecting how they play. Oh, look at that one for Zach Freemantle, who's been a major focal point as well. He's up to 21 points and counting.
He's really taking it the whole game on his back right now.
Foul is charged to Jenny King, number 10, Bez Bang, with the 4th.
That's the 4th foul on Bez and Bang as well.
Rims out on that one.
Freemantle, a guy who originally committed to Xavier in 2018 and spent all 5 seasons with the Musketeers, a throwback in this day and age in college basketball. Igor Milicic over to Curtis Jones. Here's the 3 from the wing for St. Thomas. No good. Rebound is pulled in by Chase Hunter. So Janet King had good control. Shot won't go down, and Beslin Bang gets the board on this one. 3-pointer for Curtis Jones. It has not been his night, just 2 of 6, and Bang tries one. It won't fall either. Remember, Jones had 28 points about 24 hours ago in that 82-80 win over Portsmouth Sports Club, but just because he did it on Friday night doesn't mean they'll do it on Saturday night. But we're watching Jonathan Pierre get it done on championship Saturday night. Count it, plus the foul.
Really exploiting his size there, trapping and Bang under the basket.
By Jonathan Pierre.
I like Pierre's willingness to play in the post and really exploit matchups so far in this game.
So here's Pierre, locked in and trying to help lead K&D Rounds to the trophy in this matchup. It's good. 5-point lead for K&D Rounds. Their largest was 7 at 17-10, a little less than 5 minutes going by in our matchup. Igor Milicic gets it over to Chris Youngblood. Nelly Jr. Joseph with it. Timer down to 5. He drives on Jonas Adu, and he'll draw the foul.
K&D Rounds' defense has really picked up on the perimeter. If you notice, it just denied ball really well there, forcing Junior Joseph to make a move.
Well, these players are being evaluated in 2 different ways in the sense of scouts and GMs and folks that are keeping a close eye on things are watching the elements of their game, but also the body language, the attitude, the competitive spirit, fire down the stretch, and what they do to help their team in trying to win a championship here.
Absolutely.
You've heard the phrase of, I think in the Final Four when it was talked about with Houston and Duke, skill versus will. Duke's skill, Houston's will. Well, it might come down to a combination of skill and will here in our last 13 minutes and change. Floater for Jonas Adu doesn't go down. Nelly Jr. Joseph with the rebound. Up ahead, running the floor. Igor Milicic, who got fouled from behind by Sean Padula, who thought it was clean. The official thought otherwise.
Foul charge to K&D Rounds number 4.
It's really good effort, though, by Padula to come back on that. No easy ones.
So a couple of foul shots here for Igor Milicic.
Igor Milicic at the line, 2 shots.
First one is good.
So Matt, what does Janny King have to do to really get their 3-point shooting back up? The pace has kind of slowed down for them in terms of their ability to swing in and get an open look.
I think you work the basketball inside out. Remember, they made Nelly Jr. Joseph such a focus, and then late in that first quarter, leading into the second quarter, they were getting a lot of clean looks with Ashworth, Jones. Youngbloods had a couple here in this half, but That's really a big focus, is to work it inside out, not just settle for a quick trigger three, be it in transition or in the half court as the shot clock is ticking down. And there's a misfire to give Curtis Jones and Jenny King a chance. Ashworth on the move, and he's going to be the one that set up a lot of it. Stephen Ashworth, that point guard who last night, Jordan, 11 points, 8 assists, 6 of 6 from the foul line, and was a perfect 21 of 21 from the charity stripe. That team was in that 2-point win over Portsmouth Sports Club. Portsmouth Sports Club's coaches were telling me before our third place game that Coach Ed Young and I called earlier here on WGNT TV and Prep Spin that, my goodness, if they just missed 1 or 2 free throws, we might have won that game.
Yeah. Such a small margin there, right?
Speaking of a guy that can come through free throws or whatever it is, Sean Padula going right to the 10.
Just willing his way there.
Candy round foul charge to number 4, Sean Padula, his third.
I think another factor is if Curtis Jones can get going down the stretch. He hasn't really played as much this game.
Ashworth at the line as Padula's been called for 3 fouls tonight. First one is Train.
Stephen Ashworth, 1 more free throw.
Second one also good. 13 points for Ashworth, who has 6 assists tonight of his team's 19. Jenny King being out rebounded 30-26 in this ball game. They trail it by 2 after leading by as many as 10. Bounce pass can't be threaded into Jonas Adu, number 20 from Arkansas, who once played for Tennessee because the guy that finished up at Tennessee, number 20, Igor Milicic in blue, had his leg in the way. Milicic actually started out his college career at UVA, then spent 2 seasons at Charlotte.
Full circle, right?
We connect the dots here at the PIT. It's what we love to do. Milicic actually shot 63% from 2-point distance at Charlotte in his final season, 38% from 3. And speaking of Jonas Adu, there he is. Cannon a jumper, 70-66, K&D Rounds.
Looking to show he can step out.
Now he has to guard Nelly Jr. Joseph. He spins back to the inside shoulder, and that time he draws the foul on him.
Jonas Adu with the foul. That's his second.
So Nelly Jr. Joseph, a career 62.2% foul shooter in college. First at Iona, then New Mexico, misses the first.
Yeah.
Nelly Jr. Joseph, 1 more free throw.
They've definitely made a concerted effort to go back to Nelly and go inside out.
Second one is good, however. 3-point margin.
Little shake and bake by Akins.
Oh, and he knocked it down too. How pretty was that?
Madsen answers on the other end.
A long-range bomb from the Utah Utes guard. Step back.
He's feeling it.
Milicic with the board. Ashworth over to Milicic. Here's a deep 3. Tapped out by Madsen, and it goes out of bounds. We watch it again. Jay Nakins, shake and bake, and I helped. That was gorgeous. Nolan Hickman now operating with the basketball. Adu with the left hand on Nelly Jr. Joseph. Oh, the left-handed hook shot. That is not easy to do, but he made it look relatively smooth.
He's been asserting himself a little bit offensively down the stretch.
Ashworth at the point. Jenikin goes for the lob, and Nelly Jr. Joseph ties the game up as our third quarter is almost in the books from half court. Padula's heave is short. Tight one as we go to the fourth quarter here at the Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament at Churchland High in Portsmouth, Virginia. Stay tuned.
Genesee 72.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Dramatic conclusion in store for the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament from Churchland High School. We shall see. Three-point shot to begin the fourth quarter, and that's the guy, Sean Padula of Ole Miss.
Friendly roll.
Alongside Jordan Makitz, Matthew Hatfield. We're so delighted, privileged, and honored to be on the call for this title match here at the PIT, our 12th and final game of 12. And Stephen Ashworth says, I've got an answer for you right back at you for three, as we've had some twists and turns in this basketball game. Jenikin led it 52-48 at the break, but K&D Rounds slowly but surely asserting themselves in the second half.
Quite an impressive showing so far. It's been back and forth and back. These guys, I think the tempo's about to pick up here. I see some three-point shooting from both sides.
Contributions from all over, as we have literally 8 different players in double-figure points, 4 for each squad. Nelly Jr. Joseph, one of those from New Mexico. Give him 22 points now in our basketball game, as he is the high scorer, just ahead of Xavier's Zach Fremantle of K&D Rounds with 21.
That lefty hook is so difficult to defend.
The fall away from Padula is good, as he scores it yet again for K&D Rounds. He had the game-winning free throws in our first game of this tournament when K&D Rounds escaped 74-73 against Sales Systems. And just last night he came through in clutch time for his team. Gabe Madsen trying to turn it around, but it's going to be too many steps traveling.
So, Matt, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but who are you looking at for all-tournament team?
Well, that's a great question. Certainly R.J. Felton of East Carolina comes to mind. Janelle Davis of Arkansas comes to mind, 2 of the leading scorers in this entire tournament, as that shot is good for Zach Fremantle, who has to put himself in the conversation for sure with this performance tonight. His teammate Sean Padula belongs in the convo, and for Jenikin, if they win it, they could get a guy or two. Creighton's Stephen Ashworth, New Mexico's Nelly Jr. Joseph, who scores yet again, have to be in the mix Would have said Iowa State's Curtis Jones, but tonight he's been quiet. Just 6 points, 2 of 6. He could be an X factor down the stretch as that jump shot is no good for Chase Hunter from Clemson, but it's Fremantle keeping the possession alive.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I think that these two teams have definitely had the best showings here.
A couple of players I want to acknowledge, they only played 2 games because of injury, but Kobe Sanders, Nevada, and Clemson's Victor Locken, if you were to do an all-tournament team of guys that didn't play all 3 games, just 2, those 2 leap to mind right away.
Excellent. I totally agree with you. Also, Anachili Killen was excellent in his game, despite not the gaudy stats that you would expect. He was solid and showed a lot of NBA potential.
I'll tell you, you could do an all-defensive team because he was the nation's leader in shots blocked. He had a Defensive Player of the Year from the Conference USA, Daniel Bacco from Louisiana Tech, Jemai Meshack from top 5-10 defenders list. That's something I know people love, the superlatives. Your top distributors, your playmakers, your scorers, your rebounders. There's all kinds of different types of basketball players who excel and thrive in a setting like this at the PIT.
A little bit of everything, but I really like the defense that's been played here.
A potpourri of sorts as we get a turnover from Nate Santos the last trip, and it's a 2-point gain. K&D Rounds in the lead. Janiking trying to tie it back up or go in front. We've had 7 lead changes and 4 ties thus far tonight.
Here's Curtis Jones looking to make a move.
Cujo in the lane, contorting his body, and he draws the foul.
On cue. Just like you said, he's going to look to assert himself late.
Spent his first 2 seasons in the MAC at Buffalo, and then he played 2 seasons at Iowa State. And his team's lost to Ole Miss against Sean Padula. He had quite a night. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But if you recall that 91-78 loss in the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament, they were playing from behind, catch up all night long. And you do that in any type of tournament game, win or go home. You have to advance and win to keep advancing. You're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball. Tonight, this game has stayed close. Neither team has gotten up by more than 10, and with these 2 free throws by Jones here, we're deadlocked again.
Yeah, Iowa State's not the type of team to come back from large deficit either.
Exciting action all over the basketball scene right now. Bounce pass with Nelly Jr. Joseph getting it. Bez and Bang. Up ahead to Madsen.
The defense is picked up here, the 4th.
Igor Milicic. Earlier today in the NBA playoffs, it was wins for Indiana over Milwaukee and Denver coming from behind to beat the Clippers in overtime. I understand the Knicks have rallied back against the Pistons to go up by 10 in the 4th quarter. One more game tonight with the Lakers and T-Wolves, and some of these guys out here hope to one day be in the NBA playoffs. There's Stephen Ashworth. He keeps making shots like that. One day, it might not be next year or the year after. I wouldn't rule it out for him. 84-81 as he breaks the tie. Shot from the outside, no good. Rebound by Madsen, and we've got a foul, and the bench, including Coach Dakara Ross and Coach Mike Holland, they're saying, come on, man, that wasn't a foul. They plead their case to no avail.
They just don't want that call late in the game.
I love the aspect with the PIT organizers, and we certainly have to salute Mike Morris, Cliff Sale, the entire team, the whole chair committee. They have the mixture of high school coaches with college experience, WNBA, NBA coaches. It's so cool to have them involved with this. Former players that have been NBA, WNBA. We had earlier in our last broadcast my podcast partner, Coach Ed Young, who coached in the PIT many, many years ago. It's good for them, too, not just these athletes. The PIT making this a community thing and also something that's good for the entire sport of basketball as the shot is no good. Igor Milicic with a rebound, and Janiking now has a chance here, Jordan, a really pivotal possession to go up 2 possessions here.
Yes.
Milicic turns
good
back.
Defense.
Oh, Fremantle had him bottled up, and rebound by Adu.
Really good job chesting on that one.
How about Padula getting separation downhill, dumps it off to Fremantle, no good in the rebound by Madsen. Madsen's finding a way to contribute even though his outside shot has not been totally on point, just 2 of 8 tonight from 3-point distance.
A couple misses in the paint, and now it looks like Janney King is building a little bit of a lead.
Bez Mbang with a timely three-pointer. He's not known as a three-point shooter, but when it's time for you to do it, ring it up. And Janney King leads it by 6 as they're closing in on a championship, perhaps, at the 71st annual PIT.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
Back here at the Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament, they're loving the DJ. They're loving the lively atmosphere here at Churchland High School in Portsmouth, Virginia for the 71st annual PIT. Fun time with the kids and the family members and the concessions out here, and the people do it up digging right here in Portsmouth. Alongside Jordan Maka, Matthew Hatfield here with you. Janney King, 87-81, a 10-0 spurt here against K&D Rounds. What's been the difference the last few possessions for them, Jordan?
Really, they've just found the rhythm from three-point land, and then K&D Rounds has missed a few bunnies inside, and Janney King's really turned it around into some points.
Got to mention that if they can pull this off, Janney King trying to make it back-to-back PIT championships. So Mike Holland, Roland Ross and company would just love this.
A dynasty in PIT?
Yeah. The last team to do it was Jim Markey's team, K&D Rounds, with Pat Doolin, who's now in charge of the coaches committee, if you will. We give Pat a salute, former Churchland boys basketball coach and athletic director at Smithfield High School. Jim Markey not coaching with Pat Doolin. Now he's coaching with Chris Furman and with Dion Thompson, but K&D Rounds trying to spoil that and prevent that from happening. So we'll see here as the coaches have a little bragging rights on the line too.
For sure.
Padula getting the screen, going to his right. Up top to Adu, down low. Oh, it's good, plus the foul. Jonas Adu able to get a crucial basket because without a score at that trip, I'm not going to say it was done, Jordan, but it was looking like a long shot.
Yeah, definitely a critical basket. Balanced, he gathered himself and finished through contact.
So Adu at the line, and remember now, Jonas Adu, 51.5% from the field at Tennessee, 57% from the floor at Arkansas.
Reverse jinx for you?
No, I'm just bringing up, if you get him those touches down low, he's pretty reliable. He's a serviceable foul shooter, not the greatest.
Yeah, he's definitely shown something offensively in this game.
Snelly Jr. Joseph fakes the handoff to Stephen Ashworth. Bez Mbang misses the long-range shot as the shot clock sounds.
One thing to point out down the stretch is Bez Mbang and Stephen Ashworth have 5 and 4 personal fouls. So that could prove critical or costly down the stretch. We'll see.
When you say, would you take Mbang out off the floor, offense, defense? He's such a great defender, but he made that key 3 moments ago, so I'm not sure you pay too much attention to that right now. It goes out the window.
Yeah.
It's winning time here.
Yeah, you got to play them.
Play your best at the end. Padula misses the 3. Ashworth gets the board.
I'm just saying, if I'm K&D, I'm exploiting that, definitely.
It's a great point. Down low to Noli Jr. Joseph. Adu is attached to him. Oh, the bounce to Bez Mbeng, who moved up the basketball, and that's a high basketball IQ right there.
Speaking of passing for Nelly Jr. Joseph.
11 of 12 from the floor tonight for Nelly Jr. Joseph with 8 rebounds. Padula rises up. His 3 doesn't go down this time, and the rebound for Nelly Jr. Joseph. And Janet King is getting closer to salting this one away. Ashworth for 3. That could have been a dagger, rebounded by Padula.
These guys are looking for the kill shot.
They certainly are. Little shot fake for Pierre, and he's hit going up by Chris Youngblood.
A foul is charged to Jenny King, number 23, Chris Youngblood, his second.
We've got a timeout, 2:52 remaining. 5-point gap with Janet King and K&D Rounds in the championship of the PIT. And you don't want to miss the finish right here from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Once the game is complete, we will have the championship trophy presentation, as well as the presentation to the
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
That is the look of a tired individual who's been hardworking tonight, Nelly Jr. Joseph. Sweat equity with Jordan Maka and Matt Hatfield. Janet King, 89-84 on top of K&D Rounds. He's got 24 points on 11 of 12 shooting to go with 9 rebounds in our ball game, does the big man from New Mexico. And you can say he's been taught well, first by Rick Pitino at Iona and then by his son Richard Pitino at New Mexico. Richard going to coach at Xavier, where Zach Fremantle finished up. So we continue to connect the dots here, Jordan. And Fremantle has been one of the key forces to keep K&D Rounds in this one. He's got a team high 23 points. Right now, his teammate in this one, Belmont's Jonathan Pierre, hits the first of a couple of free throws to try to make this a one-possession game.
It's been the Junior Joseph and Fremantle show tonight. Hyper-efficient bigs.
2 excellent outings for them, and both foul shots are good. So K&D Rounds, 8 of 11 from the foul line, the same 8 of 11 that Janet King is. Ashworth from Creighton with the basketball, handled by Padula, gets it over to Bez Mbeng. Janet King up by 3.
Chase Hunter defending.
And Chase Hunter gets called for the foul as Bez Mbeng was guarding him. Mbeng's two-way ability tonight. He doesn't have a ton of points, but now 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. We brought it up earlier in the week, Jordan. He led the nation in triple-doubles with 3 this season. I don't think it's by mistake or accident. He knows the game. Sometimes having that cerebral approach, it helps your team get to the winner's circle.
He does a lot of the little things with this 6-5-5 game right now.
Both foul shots are good for Mbeng. 2.5 minutes to go. Janet King up by 5. It's bounced over to Nate Santos. His 3 off the side of the backboard. Rebounded by Mbeng.
I still think if K&D wants to come back in this one, they need to go inside again. Exploit their bread and butter.
And Bang with 7 on the shot clock. Nelly Jr. Joseph for 3. If that one had gone down, talk about putting K&D Rounds in panic mode.
Absolutely.
Fremantle over to Padula. Chase Hunter for a 3. Could have made it a 2-point game if you got a foul underneath, and it's going to go against Janet King.
Chris Youngblood is third.
Chris Youngblood getting called for his 3rd personal. So from the side, we'll see Jay Nakins put this one into play. Sean Padula waiting for the screen from Zach Fremantle. And Bang stayed under it. Oh, and Bang hit the deck, and Padula scored it off the glass for 2. And it's Padula time.
Yeah, no call.
Do it 3 times in 4 nights, Jordan.
Good no call there on that one.
Ashworth picks up his dribble. Bounces down low to Nelly Jr. Joseph. Double comes. It goes by, and Bang stolen by Fremantle. Pierre for the tie. Ashworth gets it. Youngblood's pass, nearly stolen. Ashworth slips by Padula. 9 on the shot clock. Pulls it back. 3-point lead. Nelly Jr. Joseph over to Ashworth. He leans into the body of Pierre. How clever is he with 19 points and 8 assists? And that might be your MVP of this PIT. That play right there to get the defender off his feet and draw the contact and get to the free throw line, where he is one of the top 5 foul shooters in the country. We have 4 of them in this event here, Jordan, with Ace Baldwin, Khalif Battle, Tamar Bates, and there's the number 4 foul shooter in America in free throw percentage.
It's a crafty move by the savvy vet.
First one is money. It's the last guy you want to foul for Janet King. Second one good as well. And one more for Stephen Ashworth.
For good measure.
Timeout, K&D Rounds.
Timeout for K&D Rounds. 6-point game. The finish in store here from Churchland High School at the PIT.
Welcome back to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament on WGNT 27. Sponsored by the Auto Connection.
6-point lead for Janet King in the championship of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament at Churchland High School. 24 points tonight for Nelly Jr. Joseph on 11 of 13 shooting with 9 rebounds. Stephen Ashworth filling the stat sheet, Jordan, with 22 points, 5 of 9 from 3-point range, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and really playing at such a high level when the stakes are the highest.
Yeah, and 2 to 1 assist to turnover as well.
K&D Rounds probably looking for a 3 here, down by 6. It isn't exactly desperation time. Biggest deficit was 10 in this game. We've had 5 ties and 8 lead changes, and there's a little bit of a clock malfunction that will have us have a redo. Almost like in baseball where they have the timeout in the batter's box. You know, batter asks for time and the pitcher's about to throw it. There we go. Sean Padula up the floor. Has he saved his best for last? For Ashworth, and that could be it.
Foul charge to K&D Rounds number 11, Chase Hunter.
32.9 seconds to go, and Stephen Ashworth heads back to the free throw line where he was 93% this past season, a guy that scored 1,994 points in his career. He has shown the ability to rise up and make difficult shots, challenged ones, and beyond that, really being the consummate floor leader.
Yeah, he's had an excellent tournament, really played within himself, made things happen for his teammates, and then got his own shot as well.
Chase Hunter called for his third foul. Ashworth makes two, so 24 points for him tonight to share game-high scoring honors with Nelly Jr. Joseph. Pierre has it. Working against Youngblood. 23 guarding 23. Here is Padula for three. It rims out. It's tapped out, and Jennings got it with Stephen Ashworth. Loses the rock. There's a dunk, though, for Pierre as Chase Hunter finds him. Unable to foul until now with 14 ticks to go. And it's a 6-point deficit.
Charge to K&D Rounds.
13 of 16 shooting from the free throw line for Jennings. And that's one night after going 21 of 21. So
wow,
free throws do win ball games, don't they?
They really do. Very little margin of error playing this Janney King team.
First free throw is good for Youngblood. And he makes the next one. And we'll get a timeout here from K&D Rounds, who had a nice showing in this tournament. They'll drop to 2-1, barring a dramatic conclusion to this one. Janney King about to repeat as champions of the Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament as we're getting ready to wrap it up. Your takeaways from this week here, Jordan. It's been a fun 4 days of hoops action. We've given you 12 games on WGNT TV and Prep Spin, seen on the Hampton Roads Market and globally online.
Just shout out to the committee here. I think they've done such an excellent job picking the teams, and there's so many balanced games, so many competitive contests that I just would love to. Oh, hi.
Yeah, we say hello to our entire team. We'll do it now. William Warfield on camera there. We've got our Prep Spin man in the truck. You see him. Brian Martindale and Tori Bailey on the floor. Joe Allen up top here. He's been here with us all 12 games. He's had to put up with me for 12 games, so he deserves a raise. I want to thank, there's Brian right there. A shout out to him. And our entire broadcast team, from the likes of James Blackburn and David Solomon to Daniel Sokolowski, Matt Jones, Jordan Maka today, Coach Ed Young. There is Tori. There's Joe. He's tired. He wants to go home, folks. And with 14 seconds to go, I think he'll get that chance because I don't think we'll have the overtime Elam ending. But also, Michael Morris, the chairman, all the folks you see on press row, from Cliff Sale to Gary Owens, Jim Heath, Chris Queeman, Jack Ankerson. I'm leaving somebody out. I know I am. We've got our man Jimmy Duke on the clock. They've been outstanding all week long. And for those of you that have been interacting with us through social media, you can go to PrepSpin on X or Twitter, PrepSpin.com online. The entire team from WGNT TV, Mark Davis, and all the folks behind the scenes to make this possibly televised in the Hampton Roads Market. Just a real joy here for us these last 4 days.
Really is always a pleasure.
K&D Rounds about to inbound the basketball. Here's Sean Padula. He had a heck of a week. His team about to be the runner-up in this event. One dribble, Shot fake, and Chase Hunter's shot won't go. The follow is there, though, for Jay Akins of Michigan State. The bounce from Ashworth to Chris Youngblood, and the final score, Janikin, champions of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. They win it 98-92 as they get it done tonight behind 24 points apiece from New Mexico's Nelly Jr. Joseph and Creighton's Stephen Ashworth. Ashworth with 8 assists, 6 rebounds, a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 of 9 from three-point range, and Nelly Jr. Joseph 11 of 13 from the floor with 9 boards. Those two were terrific all game long, and especially Ashworth in the second half here, Jordan, where he had 13 points and was a perfect 7 of 7 from the foul line. Yeah, just an incredible performance by Ashworth, really led his team down the stretch. Such an impressive performance all around from Janny King. They had Curtis Jones last game. You had Nelly Jr. Joseph both the first game and this game stepping up. Just quite an impressive run for them, and they looked like the favorites after the first one, and they didn't disappoint. Even that first night where Bezin Bang of Yale had 17 points, Utah's Gabe Madsen had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Got things at times from USC's St. Thomas, Alabama's Chris Youngblood, and can't forget about Tennessee's Igor Milicic Jr. as they get their championship shirts and they celebrate with their coaches, Mike Holland, Roland Ross, Takara Ross. He's got that do, Mike Holland, out there. I told him I'd take a do bath with him later and pose for some shots. I told him if he got it done, and he got it done. And can't forget about K&D Rounds Landscaping here, Jordan. They had a nice weekend, too. They ended up with 6 players at double-figure points, 23 points for Xavier Zach Fremantle, who was 11 of 14 from the floor, 6 rebounds. And Sean Padula of Ole Miss gets my all-tournament team vote. 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds for him. I'd agree. The Virginia Tech transfer to Ole Miss was very impactful all tournament long.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the presentation.
So here it is, the trophy presentation, as you hear Jack Angerson,
the second year in a row,
recognize Janet King.
Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament champion is Janet King. Congratulations to Janet King.
There's the trophy as Nelly Jr. Joseph holds it up in the air. And it's the final. Janet King a winner tonight, 98-92. We want to thank our entire team from Prep Spin and WGNT TV. We thank you all for tuning in and watching our coverage of the 71st Annual Portsmouth Invitational Basketball Tournament from Churchland High School. This is Matthew Hatfield signing off from Portsmouth, Virginia. Good night, everyone.
Action shot.